Hello, everyone. Hola, mundo. Welcome, world. Aquí estamos otra vez. Welcome to VOCES Poderosas 2023. I'm Jackie Bouvier, and as you know, I've been highlighting the most amazing, powerful voices of influence in the whole nation. And today is no exception. I'm here because not only am I creating a movement, but we are the movement that inspires and empowers so many others to just be powerful and bold about their Latinidad through their voice and influence. As I said, Voces Poderosas is a transformative mini series, and it highlights the trailblazers, the spearheads, the catalysts, the leaders, the pioneers, the professionals. And as I said, today is no exception because we have Edrizio De La Cruz, author of The Underdog Founder. He is XY Combinator, a visiting partner, co-founded Arcus. He's just an amazing catalyst, an amazing human, and I am honored and I have the pleasure of introducing him to you and asking him the questions. Who are you? What is your story? And now that we're talking about Hispanic Heritage Month 365, what does that mean to you? What's your culture? Tell us about yourself. Bienvenido. Welcome,
Mm,
Edrizio. Adelante.
Yeah. Well, gracias, Jackie. Thank you so much for having me on. It's a pleasure and honor to be here with you.
Oh, I'm super excited.
Yeah,
I
of
it's I'm
course.
I'm the one that's honored to have you on
Mm.
here. Yeah, thanks.
No. So yeah, quickly about myself. I wrote a book recently called The Underdog Founder. The book chronicles my personal journey. I actually grew up in Santo Domingo in a barrio called Los Trinitarios. I used to sell guayabas as a kid when I was 11 years old. Used that to basically buy candles for my house. We didn't have running electricity all the time. And that was my life at 11. I grew up with my mom and my tia and my abuela. At age 12, I immigrated to New York. I had big dreams of being in New York, I was quickly faced with a rude awakening of growing up in the South Bronx and then Harlem. Um, and I faced and saw a lot of things that made me grow up very quickly, everything from police brutality to gang mentality to being robbed at gunpoint many times, all before I was age 17. So by the time I was 17, 18, when most kids are looking for an internship or going to college, I was trying to figure out how to escape my circumstances. And I did get a chance to go to college, but it wasn't enough for me. I needed to, do something else and wind up dropping out of college at age 18 to help my parents make ends meet. So I put my college dreams on pause and actually became an aircraft mechanic at JFK Airport. I wound up doing that for the next 6 years out of necessity to just help my parents make ends meet. So by the time I was like 22, 23, went back to college when most kids are finishing school. And I decided I wanted to pivot careers into Wall Street. And not just any career in Wall Street. I wanted to become an investment banker. I wanted to have the best opportunity possible. But of course, no investment bank wanted to take a shot at, a Dominican kid from the projects. So I got every no manager role. I went to all 11 banks, got rejected 3 times each. So I wound up getting rejected 33 times. But I got one yes. And sometimes you only need one yes. And then I got an opportunity to go from being a mechanic to being an investment banker almost overnight, so to speak, which drastically changed my life. Was able to see a different room, getting into a new room where I was exposed to imposter syndrome. But I
Mm,
used that as not as a disadvantage, but as an advantage, as a sign that I was in the right place. After a couple of years there in investment banking, wanted to kind of upgrade to MBA. And I hadn't gone to a college school. I went to city college and community college, which is kind of like the minor leagues of of education, so to speak. But I wanted to get a shot of going not only to a good school, but the best school in the world. And at the time, the best business school in the world was the Wharton School. I tried getting in, I couldn't because I didn't have a great GMAT score, which is like the SATs. Um, but I tried anyways. I felt like I had a really good story, and I got an opportunity to go. I got a chance to go. Uh, I wound up getting into Wharton with the lowest GMAT that year. Uh, so after that, after 2 years of Wharton, felt empowered to do a lot and be more. So I wanted to just not go back to working in banking, but I wanted to start a business that helped people like me. And to me, what I had become an expert at was remittances, sending remittances, receiving remittances. So I wanted to start a business around that. Wound up starting a business called Regali, and 10 years later, we sold it to MasterCard.
I'm just like, wow, this is exactly why we are doing Voces Poderosas.
Mm.
What a beautiful story. Wow. Like I'm like holding back tears. This is amazing. What a story you have. What a beautiful story. And most importantly, your tenacity and the fact that you believed and that regardless of how you felt, you mentioned the imposter syndrome, you squashed it and you kept going. And that type of resiliency, I think, is what people need to hear, is what the
Yes.
younger generations needs to know, about amazing human beings like you. What kind of what advice, professional advice in your industry, obviously now, and the experience that you've had, do you have for a younger person that can positively encourage them or empower them and shed the light on the professional Latinos so that they can understand how valuable they are?
I think one of my biggest success hacks that I talk about in the book, I call it a dedicated chapter to it, is called getting into the right room. And
Mm,
that means is surrounding yourself with a group of people that are slightly ahead of you.
mm,
And what happens then is you will feel intimidated, but you need to feel comfortable with discomfort because that allows you to learn habits and actions and patterns from other people in terms of how they become successful. If you surround yourself with successful people, you ultimately become successful by almost by osmosis.
mm.
Um, and I wish I would have known that earlier because I think when you start picking and choosing who you do spend time with versus who you don't, you automatically become who you spend time with. So if you're spending a lot of time with folks that are at your level or below, you will either stay at the same level or actually be dragged down. You're the average who you spend your time with. But if you only spend time with people who are slightly ahead of you, you'll naturally gravitate, forward and upwards. So try to find those groups of people at school who are ahead of you. Try to find the right mentors. Now, mentors could come in many shapes or forms, right? It could come in a book. It could come via social media now. Try to pick those people who talk to you and symbolize what you want to accomplish.
Wow. I love what you said. Be okay with being in discomfort, right? Because that's
Yeah.
where you're going to be challenged. I think that's powerful. And also, that's saying, right, dress for the job you want.
Yeah.
So you're like coming into a room for what you want to be, right? That's amazing. I love it. And part of the movement here really is, or the movement is actually to disrupt, to change not only the narrative, but to make sure that every day of our lives we're hearing people that are like you so that we can believe and actually step into our destiny in this country, right? Like you did. So, any
Mm.
last words of advice that you have to share for someone out there that's listening to you?
Yeah, I would say that whatever obstacle, whatever tragedy happens in your life, uh, first of all, embrace it, feel the feels, feel the pain, feel the anger, but don't let that become you. Remember,
Mhm.
where you are is not who you will be. Where you are is part of who you will be. So embrace the obstacle, use it as fuel to propel you forward from where you are to where you want to be.
Dios mío, me vas a hacer llorar.
Mhm.
That's so good. Thank you. Thank you so
Or,
much. I needed that today. I
oh,
needed that
thank you.
today. Thank you so much. What a blessing to listen and to hear your story. And thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for opening up and telling your story, and allowing an opportunity for people like myself and others to hear it and be empowered by it. And I truly appreciate everything about you and know that your voice
Gracias,
is
Jackie.
powerful and know that you're making a big difference and a change in our nation, not just, in my life. Gracias. Thank you
Gracias,
so
Jackie.
much for being on Voces Poderosas, and I truly appreciate you. Thank you.
Gracias,
Bendiciones.
Jackie.